friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. This is my Helping Hand series where I go to someone else's house and help them for free getting things back in order. This week we are working in a kitchen and dining room and just getting some deep cleaning done. This is for an elderly couple, so a lot of these projects are just a little bit harder for them to tackle. I do want to quickly take the time though for everyone that sent me comments and messages and all the sweet thoughts. I really appreciate it. If you didn't hear or see, I did end up having another miscarriage, and I'm not going to talk about it too much. There is a video on our family vlog channel, and I'm going to leave it at that because honestly that video was hard enough to make. I know a lot of people are going to be telling me to take it easy though, but I'll be honest, this is something that brings me a lot of happiness and joy, is helping others. And honestly, cleaning is a great way for me to keep my mind off of things. So I am definitely just doing something that is very helpful to me, and I was very appreciative to be able to get out of the house and help out this lovely couple in their home. Now, I know a lot of you guys that watch me are trying to get the motivation and inspiration to tackle a very large project in your house. I'm always getting messages about, I need to get this done, and I don't know where to start. The biggest thing I would say is just start. That a lot of times is the hardest part, is just getting started, because you feel lost. You don't know where to start, what to do. So just pick a corner of the room and start. And the other thing to keep in mind is often it gets worse before it gets better if it's a really big project. So if you start in one corner and work in one area at a time, these are going to make it a lot easier to, one, stay on task, because I know often that can be the hardest part, but also you'll see the progress throughout the room to keep you motivated to keep going.
Shitty car, but we hit the road. Doesn't matter where we go, and destination unknown. I don't care where the motor stops, cause when I want it, then I want it. Yeah, I want it, oh I want it, let's go. Look around, where's the people at?
In my glass bottle is just some thieves cleaner, and that is what I am wiping down most of the surfaces in the kitchen with. I obviously do have some other cleaners to help with specific area, but I always look for a really good multi-purpose cleaner when I'm getting a lot done, because it can get overwhelming to go from one cleaner to the next and just adding clutter to an already cluttered space. So if you can have just one really good cleaner that you can jump throughout, obviously there's going to be some specifics that you need. Window cleaner, here in a second you're going to see that I had oven cleaner, but not having to constantly change your cleaner is definitely something that helps a ton.
It's 2 a.m. when we close the bar, but we're in the get-go. Next place, give me some more. I could dance with you beneath the stars, cause when I want it, then I want it, yeah.
Can you guys believe it is already Thanksgiving next week? I honestly can't even believe it's already Thanksgiving next week. Bobby and I have been talking about gift ideas for the kids. We've definitely, when we first started doing Christmas with the kids, it was always my thought, I wanted this overflowing tree of gifts, because that's what I had growing up. Now, mind you, I didn't think about me having 4 siblings, and even if we just had a couple gifts each, the tree had a bunch of gifts under it just from that. But I have definitely gotten, as the years have gone on, and decluttering toys multiple times a year, where I try and be more aware of what I'm getting the kids for Christmas. So I think this year, realistically, all the boys want is a gaming keyboard and Robux. That's like all they want. So I told Bobby, I'm like, well, then we'll get them a gaming keyboard and Robux, because we don't need to get them all these little extra things that they don't really need. We may also add in some needed clothing items that they need, but we are really trying this year to not go over the top with things that within a couple of months I may be decluttering because they're not interested in anymore. Also, Freya has been super, super into art. Like, she's constantly wanting to draw, if it's with her chalk outside with Daddy or in her coloring books or something. So I know Bobby and I are looking at different art stuff for her. Coloring books, a little easel, like one of those standing easels that you can get. Things like that I like the idea of something like that over a bunch of little toys, and I know it's something she's really, really going to enjoy. Definitely let me know what you guys are planning for your kids. Also, are you the type of parents that do this, that did the same thing, or does the same thing of feeling like your tree needs to be over the top, and you're slowly coming to terms with the idea of, okay, it doesn't. Like, they don't need a million gifts, especially like, it's not just us giving them gifts. So if we go over the top, then they've got grandparents and aunts and uncles, and it just really gets overwhelming fast. I actually, often when people ask what the kids want, we have been going more towards like experiences rather than physical items.
Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. Get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air get thinner. Standing in a blurry dream.
I want to thank each and every one of you that have sent me your Christmas photos. I have been so enjoying seeing everyone's decorations. If it's photos from last year or people have already started this year decorating, it is so much fun seeing like all the different styles and color variations and absolutely everything. I will be sharing more photos at the end of this video. I know a couple people have sent me messages saying they don't know if I'm doing it anymore. My plan is, as long as you guys are sending me photos pretty much all the way up until Christmas, I will share them, because I think it's really fun seeing the different decorations, especially for like, not everyone that's sending me stuff is from America. So I'm seeing stuff from all over the world of people decorating for Christmas, which I also just think is really cool. Like, there's not many things that bring people all around the world together like Christmas and New Year's. I feel like those are always two big things that like almost everywhere does and really brings a lot of people together. And I think that's pretty just cool to see. People always ask how you get the super shiny sinks, and my biggest thing is dry out your sink at the end. I used Barkeeper's Friend on this one, but then when you dry it out, that's what leaves that lingering shine. I also sometimes like in my stainless sink after I dry it out, I will spray it with stainless steel cleaner, because then that leaves a nice shiny residue as well. Here you can see though that couple little stains that were left over on this griddle that Easy Off made it come off super easy. I still have to do these lower cabinets, but whenever I'm doing lower cabinets, I like to try and clean the floors first, because I know I'm getting lower to the floors and I just don't want to have that all over. So that is why I have brought the vacuum out. That way, like I said, I can get all the crumbs off, little bugs here and there. We do live in Florida, so as long as the bugs are dead, you know the pest control is working, but unfortunately, you're often always going to see bugs and lizards. At least once a week, we've got a lizard that has made its way into our house. Luckily, Bjorn loves capturing lizards, so whenever I see one, all I have to do is call him, and he will catch it and release it back outside.
Oh, it sounds like I'm crazy, but I need to believe in you to get through my life. Then suddenly you are here inside my head everywhere. Where did you come from? I'm wondering, baby, are you made up of for real? Say, can you feel what I feel? 'Cause I can tell if I'm just dreaming.
So, what are your plans for Thanksgiving? Are you guys hosting? Are you going to someone's house? This year, I am not hosting. We are going to mom and dad's house. We try and rotate holidays down here between myself, my mom, and my aunt. And this year, we have it set up that mom's doing Thanksgiving, my aunt's doing Christmas, and then I am doing New Year's. Last year, I think it was, yeah, last year my aunt did Thanksgiving, I did Christmas, and my mom did New Year's. So somehow we're going to have to remember this for next year. We almost need to write this down as a list because I know all of us are not real good at remembering these things. But we did have a lot of fun this past weekend. We were at my aunt's house and we made these toppers to go on your coffee mugs, like Christmas coffee mugs. They turned out so cute. I shared a photo on my Instagram, and we want to make some more this coming Sunday. So I will try and get some video footage of it because I know a lot of people were asking how I did it. And my aunt's the one that actually bought all the supplies. So I know it was like a spackle product and then just like decorations and stuff, but I can't remember the exact names. So I'm hoping to be able to share that with you guys later. I did put in the end of this video, though, a couple of those photos that I shared on Instagram. That way you guys can see what those looked like. They were so cute, though. I am really excited to make some more. I think putting those on the coffee mugs that I already have in our coffee bar for Christmas is just going to be so cute.
If I'm gonna get with a girl like you. Sorry to my ex, you deserve more. Sorry.
Also, I apologize if I sound funny today. My nose is all stuffed up and I'm not really sure. We got some crazy weather that has blown over the Gulf from Texas. So thanks, Texas. But it has had me all stuffy. There's something in the air that has my allergies going crazy. But yeah, I know I sound a little nasally today. It's funny since being down here in Florida, though, because there are so many sunny days compared to like rainy, gloomy days, that we have dealt with like 3 days that it's already been kind of gray and gloomy and gross. And everyone's like, oh, I just want the sun back out. Bobby actually said that even Sunday, which was like the first gloomy day here. And I'm like, you realize like this gray sky, gloomy weather was like 5 months long, if not more, in Wisconsin. So you need to be grateful that this is just a little front. We might have a week of some gloom and clouds, but then the sun will be right back up. I know he really wants to get working on the Christmas decorations. So that was one of his things, is working in this like drizzly, rainy, wet, cold weather is something he's doesn't want to do. So he's been holding off a little bit. But it has allowed him to get a really big cleaning, decluttering, and organizing job done in the garage that he's been wanting to get done, but has been kind of pushing it off because he knew it would be a lot of work. He's going to share that video on our family vlog channel. I think he was out there for like 4, maybe 5 days. And he filmed a lot of the process, but not all of it, because a lot of it was like just tedious organizing stuff. And when I saw his video the other day, because I was trying to help him while he was filming, because there was still so much to do, I think he had like over 30 minutes with it really sped up. And like I said, he didn't film every like second of those 4 days that he was out there, but it does look so much better, and I know he's really glad he was able to get it all done. So people often ask me what my favorite area is to clean, and the kitchen's definitely one of them, especially when I go to other people's houses. I feel like the kitchen can make such a drastic difference in your mental health to have it clean and organized and everything. And it can also be the most overwhelming, especially if you have kids and pets and whatnot. I love cleaning kitchens. I feel like that makes a big mental impact on a lot of people out there. Now, is this a crazy, insane before and after? No, but I think it's a good one, and it's something that's realistic and relatable. I know often people I know don't feel like they can relate to certain cleaning projects and cleaning videos, and I feel like this one really was. Like, we all have a lot of gadgets and things, and it's just figuring out how to make it work best and cleaning around it. I do know, and it's one thing I always tell people, is the less you can have on your counters, the better, because it's really hard to deep clean when your counters are cluttered, because none of us want to have to move all of that stuff. That's why in my kitchens, I really, really try and focus on more minimal counters of stuff that isn't too hard to move from one place to the next. That way, I do get to moving things and fully cleaning the counters more often. This dining room was one of my favorite spots in this house. This is obviously a little bit older of a home, but it is very well maintained. Like I said, this is just an older couple, and there's certain things that are a lot harder to do when you get older. So even though if you can keep up with the daily cleaning and keeping it tidy and everything, sometimes these deeper projects are just harder. But yeah, this dining room, I loved. It had this built-in corner cabinet, which I love, those old built-in corner cabinets, or those old built-in like buffets. They were very common on like the east side in Milwaukee when I lived there. If you went into older homes, they'd have this like built into the wall, beautiful inlay woodwork and glasswork buffets, and they were stunning. So any pieces like this, I always really enjoy seeing in these older homes. And then just their decor sense, like, and I'll say this a million times, like, I may not put this stuff in my home. Like, it's not my personal style of something that I want to live in, but I have such an appreciation for different styles. Like, I'm not going to look at someone's style and be like, okay, my sister is very eclectic. She likes the brighter colors and the mix match of patterns. Like, obviously, you guys know that's not me, not something I'm going to have in my house. But I love her style. Like, I think it is the coolest style, and it can be so pretty and so fun to decorate. It's just not me personally. Same thing here with this house. Is this dining room table something I would want in my personal home? No. but I loved this dining room table. The details in the legs and the chairs, it was just absolutely stunning.
I'm afraid I'll end up nowhere. They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the deep.
I also feel like dining rooms can get cluttered easy also. A lot of us work from home, especially after the whole debacle of 2020. So a lot of us, our offices became our dining rooms, our bedrooms, and different areas in our home. And it has made its way over to 2023, and I'm sure 2024 it'll be the same. So being able to put an area together that is pretty and functional, I think is really, really important, because obviously they still need these printers and shredders and the different stuff in their house. But I think it is really important, and being someone that works from home, to be able to separate yourself from work and regular life, because otherwise mentally it can be very, very draining. That was one thing I had to really get used to when I started YouTube, is because I didn't work outside of the house anymore, and I used to work 40, 50 hours a week outside of the home before I started YouTube. Some of you guys may not know how I started YouTube. It was actually in 2018. Bobby got deployed overseas, and my income did not make up for what it was going to cost in childcare, with me being basically an only parent for a year. So I ended up having to stay home with the kids, and I was bored out of my mind. Like I said, I used to work 40 to 50 hours a week, and I was going stir crazy. So I started YouTube for fun. But one thing I had to get used to is when I was working outside of the house, when I was at work, I was at work. And when I was home, I was home. Like, there was a very obvious separation. And when you're working in the house, that gets a little bit harder to separate and can be, like I said, very, very mentally draining. So if you can make those separations and really try and make it easy to, okay, put the work stuff away. That way, when you are done, you are just done. I highly, highly recommend it. That was a really long story for not a very big explanation, but I hope that makes sense to you. You guys know me. Sometimes I just talk way too much.
Make you fall under some spell. Rather be alone, be a shell. I'm okay being me. You say you don't judge, and your friends all agree. They see you for you, but they don't see what I see. A narcissistic personality. Oh well. You think the world is yours.
I also really enjoyed cleaning these floors because they just had such a pretty shine to them when they were clean, that this was definitely something I really, really enjoy doing. Certain floors, like our old house with the darker floors, there are certain floors that mop and clean beautifully. Not saying that others aren't clean, but they just like show the drastic difference of a freshly cleaned floor, and I love that about floors, and these were one of them. Like, when they were clean and freshly mopped, they just glistened in the sun, and I love that. Once again, this room may not be like a dramatic, massive change, but in the end, these are little things that make life so much easier, especially for an older couple that may have a harder time getting to stuff. But I am going to be sharing, like I said, more of the Christmas photos you guys had sent me. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you next time. Bye.